to say we had a script that started out in the morning and finished up being the same script in the evening was might be a bit of a stretch. But no, delighted to be here, and thanks for the invitation. It's hard to imagine like that. It's so much time has passed since we first made. I think the Hard Times was made in 1997, the summer of 1997. Hard Times 1 and 2 and 3 and all the rest in between. I was trying to rack my head this evening about Red Hair Mary and all the scenes in it, but some of the scenes I was thinking of were some of the other scenes in other films, because we were very much rural based and so on. And I think I saw a glimpse of John Lynch there, and great to see you here tonight, John. John was the first man on the camera for the Hard Times and that, and later than the late Dylan Boyer and that. And we think of everybody that was involved in some. If you look back at some now, you will see some of the people that were extras and all that, and they came willingly and stood, whether it was at fair days or whether it was fighting with the travelling people or whatever. And you see so many of them have gone to their eternal reward, and we remember all of them tonight as well. But I suppose if you wanted to do something like this, you couldn't have picked a better place than North Kerry or West Limerick. Because the North Kerry, West Limerick people, I think myself, are people that they're in the one pod. They really have a lot in common, and there is that common touch of, I suppose, the old method of helping out your neighbour and helping out your friend. And I would say Leo would be the first to acknowledge that that was the kernel of why these films were such a success. You could rock up and gather a crowd, nobody expecting anything, just there for the fun and the enjoyment of it. And that really worked. And I remember, not necessarily the Red Hair Mary, but we had a fair day, a mock fair day in Hay one time. Not too sure, it was at times 1 or 2, which was one of them anyway. And it was a Sunday afternoon, and Leo had his props, asses, cars, creels, he had a pig inside the horse and creel. All those things ready to rock up the street to do a scene for the mock fair day. And what he didn't count on was that the people that I take him out to see it in all West Limerick and North Kerry came to view the filming. So Atay was chocolate block, and there was a fall scheme in Atay at the time, it was a community employment scheme at the time, let's call him. And John O'Halloran, who's still in Atay, he was the foreman. He went around and picked out his men from the fall scheme, and he said, guys, we're going to have to do the traffic today because the whole Abbeyfield Road was blocked. Everything to a standstill. And they got out their busy vests and they got out their cones and they got the traffic going, and they walked on a Sunday afternoon to keep the show on the road. And that was the kind of spirit that was involved in making these films. Nobody really looked for any kudos out of it. They just rolled up the sleeves and did it. And what Leo has also done is he's also given us a memory of what those times were like. And we dwelled into, we might have done it maybe a lot of it in a comical fashion and fun. There was a lot of serious stuff in it too, because it brought back memories of poorer days in Ireland, and you know, when you had servant girls, when you had strong farmers, servant girls, you had people that were being married off here and there and everywhere. Whereas now we look at the modern Ireland that we have now, it's hard to believe that there's only a little over a generation ago that some of that was happening, and there's people in the room maybe tonight that would have remembered it quite well. So I think great credit due to Leo for his vision. Great credit to him for the hard work he put into making these films. You know, and I remember, I suppose, one of the best, I suppose, accolades it got from me was I was in the Lockdown Islands one night, and I think it was actually a Red Hair Mary that this guy saw. But there was a guy called Johnny Brennan. He was a Port McGee man, lived in Ballyhale for a number of years. And he went back to England. He was a builder in England and went back to England, and his family went back there. And I met him on Christmas in the Lockdown Arms, and he called me over and he said to me, "You were in that film," he said. And I said, "Which film was that?" And I think it was the Red Hair Mary film, he said. And he said to me, "We watched it in the Irish Centre in Leeds the other night, and I cried through the whole of it. Because it brought the memories back of what his youth was." And he said, an awful lot of people in that Irish Centre in Leeds were nostalgic on it that night. So fair play, Julie, you brought all that to us, and well done. And thanks again for the invite. The opposite is really interesting to give a competition microphone. You don't want to let it go.
Thank you very much, John. The only thing, John, you left out there was John was canvassing one time down in Eskeen. This was a couple of years after Red Hair Mary, and he knocked at the door with his team. And this old woman, she was in her 90s, opened the door. She was living alone, and John was telling her about what he was going to do for her, this and that, and the road and the house repaired. And so she didn't say a word, and she kept looking at him. And the next time when John was finished, she turned around and she looked at him and she said to him, "How do the man that stole Red Hair Mary and went off with her? You won't get any vote here," and she banged out the door. Oh, John recognised that too.
We never go.
Right. So by the way, I got a phone call today at 3 o'clock and you were playing golf with the Helio down in Adair. I think there's something coming up there. Is there for the TV for West Limerick? Is there? I'm only joking. Right. I just want to thank Carla for the premises here and all the work she did behind the scenes in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and also Kieran and Shane. They worked hard all day here with me trying to get this thing in order. And I just want to point out there on the 15th of November at the Clonmacnon Community Centre, rolling back the years. It's a film that I made there about 10 years ago of a cast of 12, and we're showing that in the Community Centre on that date, and it's gone back to 1962, and we got 12 children to take our place, and we went back in time. And we went to Black Ditch and without shoes, and it was handbone, and the sticks, the bamboos, and all that was used in the classroom. And it's a fundraiser for the Clonmacnon Community Centre. So if you're free in a month's time, you might come out to Clonmacnon for that. The film is about an hour and 20 minutes. So now, before we turn on Red Hair Mary, there's just one thing that I have to do tonight, because Red Hair Mary, there was about 300 taking part between the dancehall scene and all. So we have to remember the 14 people tonight that passed away. The first one is Dylan Boyle. Mary, his wife, is sitting over there tonight. Dylan was the patient man, because sometimes there when we were filming, Dylan was very exact, and some of the time it wouldn't be right, and I would have to say to him, we have to shoot this again. Dylan wouldn't like that, but he did it. He was a patient man, and he was a lovely man, and he always came out when he was asked to come out to do the film. It didn't make any difference where it was, Dylan was there. Now, Tom, we have to, these are the 14 people that we have to acknowledge here tonight, and Tom McCarthy, John McCarthy's father, Kilback my fan, was in the dancehall scene in Clonmacnon in this film tonight. Also Joe O'Connor, Kilback my fan, Tom Foley, my man, and Listowel, Celia died, Listowel, Kitty Curtin, Clonmacnon, Nora William, Listowel, she only died there about 3 months ago or more, I'd say around 3 months ago. Mike O'Brien from Innis, County Clare, he came over from the dancehall scene. The Peckerdown, of course, Listowel and Kilrush. William Fitzgerald, he'd be doing a dive in Limerick. And James E. Fitzsimon, Shannon Golden, he only died 2 weeks ago. He was one of the dancers here as well. And Angela Camley, Scahan and Listowel. And of course, Johnny Dunnigan, the fiddler Dunnigan, playing in the band here as well in Clonmacnon on the night. He passed away as well. So I'm in a silence for these people. And then after that, we're ready to roll. Okay?
Stories that I grew up listening to.
When I was trying to think about, I suppose, what that encapsulated, there's a poem by Citizen Clifford called I Am Kerry, and I thought he might say it better than I would on this night. So I'll give you a little piece from it. I am Kerry, like my mother before me, and my mother's mother and her man. And I sit on an office stool, remembering, and the memory of them, like a fan, soothes the embers into flame. I am Kerry, I'm proud of my name. He goes on then to talk about his ancestors and says, their voices came on every little wind, whispering across the half door of the mind, for always I am Kerry. During filming, I heard those voices, especially the voice of my dad, who passed away shortly before the film was made. And for the teams and the times that we created, it was like a passageway into his own past. There was times, I suppose, when all I can remember was the laughter. The laughter of the scenarios that Leo dreamt up, or laughing at the audacity of Leo to rewrite the lines minutes before we shoot. And the camaraderie between all was the most special thing about the filmmaking. The sense of community and togetherness that Leo forged was incredible, and the kindness of people never failed to amaze me throughout that summer. I was barely out of college in Galway, and I'd head off on the long drive to Kerry on Sundays. There'd always be a cup of tea on hand, and great concern that I'd make it up and down in one piece. The long-suffering boyfriend at the time, who's now the long-suffering husband, Ray, he was often recruited into the driving duties when I'd be frantically learning the new lines that Leo might send me at the 11th hour on the drive down. The talent that was drawn together was always a joy. Brilliant local actors that really shone through Leo's ability to write dialogue that was of the place, and characters that provided such brilliant comedic gold. How Leo pulled it all together was always a mystery. For no financial gain, no gain of any sort, only the pure love of it. He put everything into ensuring that everybody had a brilliant experience. Everybody was well looked after, and no expense was spared on finding the most authentic props, sets, equipment, you name it. It's hard to sum up an experience like that, but I can honestly say it was one of the happiest times of my life, and I'm sure that's the case for so many of the cast of Leo's films, some of whom are here tonight. There was a purity in the experience where everybody was there for the greater good. So when I was trying to bring it all together, I thought I'd try and write a little poem called Red Haired Mary, especially for Leo tonight. So here it goes. R, it stands for royalty, for in the kingdom great stories originate. With a glint in his eye for 30 years, the king himself saw the chance for North Kerry to shine. E, it stands for energy. Had he something in the porridge? Seamlessly moving mountains with tenacity and courage. D, it stands for danger, for there was risk for all involved. The bug was caught by many, and not unlike his day job in undertaking, once you were in, there was no getting out. H, it stands for hospitality. One and all welcomed as we were found. Whether it was making tea or turning keys, you were thanked for being around. A, it stands for altitude, for it put us all on a high, filming scenes in the meadows and dancing at the crossroads at night. I, it stands for integrity. There was a heartbeat to this tale. Before the world was woke, Leo Finucane had it nailed. R, it stands for raucous, for there was much laughter to be had. For the Glenville steam to the dance hall reels, there was no time to be sad. E, it stands for empathy, for the film drew so many to share a word of time gone by, or a loved one that got away. It connected generations and hearts it stirred. D, it stands for Dylan, who we remember especially tonight. His patience and his skillful eye, persevering to get it all right. M, it stands for magical, the memories of this time. 21 years of water under the bridge, to forget it would be a crime. A, it stands for applause, for it was a sum of so many parts. From the pecker done to the songs that were sung, it found its way into so many hearts. R stands for rejuvenate, for we'll all feel young tonight, remembering the carry-on, Leo's legacy make many stars bright. Y stands for your B, celebrating the passage of time, for it's nothing short of a privilege to be back in the kingdom tonight.
The customs of the time. Mary, a pretty, flirtatious girl, acts as a catalyst for change when she introduces romance and fun into a humdrum farming family.
shot before bodies, so the heavy parts of the black fella, and give Jimmy with his body, and just run down to the head of the car. Ah, go on, man, swing the power, look.
Down
Moses.
He would pull in
I'd like to know who set us up.
I just near the back board over here was sort of up to the outside. I should have got the finish when the world do it.
I suppose. Come on, we make a drum out went. This is 3 o'clock in the after, and that bitch came to bring us one supper today. I'm hungry.
So because the last night now I picked up like this.
What?
Back here, do a visitor.
And Mary, I'll come from all that fine spring water, right?
I am, Paddy. Are you looking for a hand with the hair?
Here, good after the night,
And I'll call yourselves.
Mary, I never forget last night. Krishna, you're great dancers. My 2 legs, they're only fit to the bed, aren't they?
So, toe flow back here, toe flow. And I got my room this morning. Sure, after she probably got me in bed.
I'm not doing off back to Limerick this morning.
Alright.
Paddy, can I make one day with you?
Huh?
I thought like you should behind you, but you're standing annoyance.
I'm going to go in later on.
It's not shitting. Get up on there again, don't be shy.
Don't say that then.
Put away. Alright, good luck.
Mother of Jesus, look inside that picture with people together. What's the one coming text on?
Here we go, we're only first up, please. The day your father still was the house.
Right.
Where was this the house?
Wasn't it Puck?
I got into your leg, down before the rest.
What's wrong with you, Paddy? Are you afraid of me? Have you never kissed me a girl before? It's the tinker's kiss you're after getting.
Oh, mother to God, what am I going to do?
Let's have it on. I mean, yeah, that's it. Johnny in the law, his grandfather, and he thought careful. Mary.
They don't care who's Mary. Well, my father was John. My dad, so we're going to have to bring a few whites ahead and bring them home.
Right, but you're going to know that it's not something.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. You have everything you get. Glad to hear.
Wine and whiskey.
I think it's on Jack of Whiskey.
Jack of whiskey. Jack of whiskey. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Poor old machine wasn't really right. He walked very hard. He kept the tears in the air. He walked like a slave. He walked out the and he was great. What? He was great.
Since what we're talking about, that woman on the bed. Now to do what they're walking here, right, I did. So I didn't think I